Recently, we've been trying to understand the method of correction, of how does a person correct himself, and you mentioned that it's common to work in groups of 10. But today, we'd like to elaborate a bit on 10 parts, to understand what is this structure, this natural structure. We see that it exists in many places. In the Torah, you have the 10 plagues and the 10 commandments, and the Kabbalah speaks about the 10 sfirot. We know that we even have in mathematics the decimal system. We even evaluate ourselves, we grade ourselves, we always yearn for 10. So what is this motive that repeats itself, that divides things into 10? What's special about the 10? What's special about 10? Because this is how reality is built, according to this number. And reality is built this way because the upper force, which is the force of bestowal or the upper light, that created the desire, develops the desire for it to suit the light, to fit it. In 10 stages, it's called 4 pchinot of direct light, 4 phases of direct light, but when we open them, they become 10. And the 10th degree of the desire, as it's developed by the light, from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, on the last 10th degree, this desire can already respond to the light. It understands what it is compared to the light, that there are two opposite things, and how to respond to it, and how to perform the right actions, that it understands its own nature, understands the nature of the light, and can correctly decide what to do. How to guess, how to examine, how to scrutinize what the right actions are in order to respond correctly and bring itself to a state which is complete. The desire that was created by the light, as if resists the light by nature and does not want to be the receiver, doesn't want to only receive from the light, but also wants to have the same nature as the light has. This desire, it wishes to reach a degree that is higher than itself, higher than the place of its origin. And in order to scrutinize these things, first of all, it needs an initial development of 10 stages that's done by the light that creates the desire existence from absence, from 0, which is the root degree, 0, and when the desire reaches the 10th degree, or 10th stage, it already wants to be like the light, meaning to both receive everything from the light in order to also be a bestower, and also so its bestowal will have the same form as the light has, meaning receiving in order to bestow. And then what stems from this 10th degree, that the desire was developed to by the light, called the 10 sfirot of direct light. So what you get in return is the 10 sfirot of returning light, or choser in Hebrew. The desire itself wants to operate, work like the light. And so the 10 sfirot of Or Yashar, direct light, clothe in the 10 sfirot of Or Choser, returning light, and there is compatibility between them, adhesion. Or in other words, you can say bestowal and love. And therefore the number 10, it's not something that was determined randomly, simply so, or because of some idea, but it was revealed in the nature of these two opposite things, the only things that exist in creation, the light and the desire that reach from the beginning of creation and to the end of creation through the development of the 10 stages or phases of the direct light and returning light. I'll try and explain what I understand. I understand that reality, nature, consists of 10 parts or 10 stages. Nature itself. And nature created man's desire, and man's desire is also divided into 10 stages that gradually developed in 10 parts. So there's nature that consists of 10 parts, and the human desire that also goes through a developmental phase that consists of 10, 0, 1, and so on. I don't yet understand what each and every phase means, but I do understand that the human desire probably went through 10 phases, some 10 phases, and then I understand when a person reaches a certain developmental level, he wants to start feeling the perfection that exists in nature, to start feeling these 10 parts of nature. He wants to become like nature, like those 10 parts. He also wants to be perfect, and he starts working with nature in a certain way that I didn't understand. If you want to understand things this way, this will take us a lot of time. And I don't think that we'll even be able in 10 or 20 talks to understand these stages. Right. This is a subject that the wisdom of Kabbalah talks about. There are many details to it and many questions. I thought maybe you want to understand the principles of the work in the 10 from which we attain the upper world. This also is very interesting. Only before the principles, we'd like to understand why is everything divided into 10. I'd also like to ask about what you just explained about the number 10. I'll say what I understood. You're talking about two components that are opposed to one another, and you described an interaction between something you call light and something you call the desire. What are these two components? Where do they exist? This process that you talked about, when or where does it happen? This process takes place between the two forces, which the desire to bestow on the one hand, which is first, and the will to receive, which was created by the desire to bestow. And these two forces, these two desires, a desire is a force, that desire is a force. These are the only two forces that operate in reality. When did all of this happen? There is no when. Time doesn't exist. I'm sorry, if you want to go deeper into the wisdom of Kabbalah, you have to accept everything that it says, otherwise it won't happen. It can't clothe in a limited perception. Okay, so it's not when, but you can say it's before the creatures were created. Before creation. Before creation. Okay, so what happens before creation? There are two forces, two desires, to what? Before creation, there's the force of bestowal. What do you mean by the force of bestowal? The force of bestowal is the creator. And he's called the creator because from his desire to bestow, to love, to give, he creates existence from absence, from nothing, out of nothing. We're not talking about the degree that's previous to that because it has nothing to do with us at all. But what we're talking about is that in that force of bestowal, love, giving, called the upper light, a desire to receive is formed. And the desire to receive is developed by the light. So these are the two. There's the initial force, which is the force of bestowal that creates, that because of its desire to give, creates a desire existence from absence. Yes. So what does it mean, the will to receive? The desire to receive, one wants to give and the other wants to receive. So these are the two forces that exist before creation. No, creation starts with them.